You have to realize that in 2024, it's been 15 years since we had a raise in the minimum wage, and with that, we don't know which way we're going. We don't know if we're going up. We don't know if we're going down. We don't know if we're going forward or backwards because of all of the rhetoric, the turmoil that we have experienced in the United States of America. It is so difficult for us to focus on raising a family when we don't know what's next. It's difficult for us to plan our strategy on how we're going to buy and how a house or anything else when we don't know what is actually next. It is so sad that we are not being paid more than $7.25 an hour as a minimum wage. That is the problem today. Our discussion is about the minimum wage and how it affects our families and our communities, and what would probably happen if we had an opportunity to change the way it is set. But it's almost impossible to get a damn pay raise these days. Like I said, it's been 15 years. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live from a Black perspective. This is the Desk of the Emissary, and I am Smith-Bey, bringing you the news. It is about education. It is about economics. It is about every single thing that changed our lives from being a normal American citizen. The Black News Network is here to make things right. Let's make it right again. How about that? Instead of making it great again, let's make it right again. And how hard can it be to make it right? Especially when we think of everyone in our nature, in our world that had anything to do with this country received their reparatory payments, and we did not, as Black or African Americans in this country. We did not receive our just due, and we haven't, and we probably won't, because we have I'd say we got 800,000 to 1 million millionaires in our Black population. That's a lot of damn millionaires. Why have we not filed anything saying that this is what we want as a front? You know, we're our own worst freaking enemy. And one thing I was saying the other week is that we are worse than they are with our own people. And that is a significant problem that we're gonna have to deal with, or I'm gonna spend the rest of my life spinning my damn wheels just like everybody else, because we will never ever get past this point until these damn rich ass people get off their ass and at least try and make an association or something that looks after our culture. Nobody looks after our culture. Nobody. Who looks after our culture? The Black American, the African American, the descendant of a slave, who looks after our culture? Nobody. Woo! I have to calm myself down, boy, because this kind of shit gets on my damn nerve, knowing we're not gonna make any damn money here in this country, because the minimum wage was initially designed to protect the employees. People were working for less than $11 a week, and they were putting more than 40 hours a week in, which made it a serious problem because they were hiring kids and everybody else. So what's next? You got to come up, the president got to come up with something. And it was Theodore Roosevelt who decided that this is what we can try. It was a 44-hour work week initially, and now it's down to 40 hours. And so he put his plan out to start with, and the Supreme Court said not no, but hell to the no. They overruled his plan, which created a problem in the manufacturing industry, because now the people were getting paid less. They were getting paid less than what they were making before he tried to change the law. So when he changed the law, and then the people had to comply, and then the Supreme Court overruled it, then people got stupid and started screwing over the workers. So this time he came out with a better law. And let me just give you some facts of who did all this. The Fair Labor Standard Act, the Fair Labor Standard Act in 1938 was the first official organization, government organization, who wanted to set up something for us to make a living. And that's all the minimum wage is. It's something for you as an American to make a living. And the amount is based on what the federal government thinks you need to make in order to survive in a country. And $7.25 is a goddamn lie. I'm sorry to say it. That is not enough for anybody in this American culture to make a damn living. 40 hours a week at $7.25, and the federal government gonna take a third of your damn income to start with before you even get paid. $7.25 is not the number for people to survive in this country. And that is what we have to deal with. And you wouldn't believe who did that. It was $6 and something before this happened. Barack Obama made it $7.25. And why would they only allow it to go up for $1? What kind of shit is that? All these rich ass people, these white folks sitting up there, millionaires, don't want American people to make more than $7.25 an hour. $7.25 an hour. Let that sink in. And I'm gonna keep talking about $7.25 because I'm just blown away that the richest country in the world only wants you to make $7.25 an hour. That's pathetic. And we represent ourselves like we somebody, and we treat our people like we ain't shit, and we expect us to love America the way the billionaires and millionaires do. This FLSA, established by the Fair Labor Standard Act in 1938, they decided that they wanted a wage floor. And the wage floor is basically saying nobody can work in America making less than X amount of dollars. They must didn't know. This is 1938 now. They must didn't know we were chopping damn cotton for $6 a fucking day. Excuse me. $6 a day. And that was good damn money back then, boy. 8-9 hours a day in that damn cotton field, up and down half a mile rows of cotton, chopping the grass on the side of the cotton for $6 freaking a day. That's a damn shame. That ain't bad. No, look, that was money for us growing up as children. But there were grown people out there making the same damn thing. That just shows you how hard it has been in this country to carve out a living messing around with the people who own the land. I don't know how important it is to you, but I'm telling you, the only way you're going to make it in America is by two things. One is you're going to buy some land and you're going to hold on to that land like your life depended on it. That's one. And two, you're going to have to insure somebody until they damn, excuse me for going here, but I got to tell you the secrets of success in America. One is land, two is insurance. You got to insure somebody and hope they die before you do. That's basically what it's all about. And then if that does happen, you pass that wealth on to somebody who deserve it. You don't damn hoard the money. You give it to the people who can make it work for them, the younger folks, the younger generations that are lost right now. And you know they blame us for being lost. It ain't us. So the FLSA, the Fair Labor Standard Act of 1938, established a wage floor. They established a 44-hour work week, and they also established a protected children form, so kids could not be in the workforce. They were working children 8, 9, 10 years old. They were making kids drop out of school back in the 1930s and 40s to go to work, to support the families. And this country was all about millionaires. It wasn't about nothing more than millionaires. If you were not making $1 million or more, then your life and whatever you're going through is insignificant. And you always wonder how, when you look at a football game, the bleachers are filled with white faces. You know, I'd love to be at a football game, but I can't afford a goddamn ticket. The tickets are too damn high. If you get a ticket in the first 40 rows of an NFL football game, you're in the hundreds and if not in the thousands of dollars. I have no idea, but I know it's more than I can damn spare. That's a lot of damn money to be paying for a football game every week, several games a week. And you see people, the bleachers are packed every single game. I have yet to see a football game where there were nobody or a few people in the bleachers. That's a lot of disposable income going into the NFL or the NBA or the National Hockey League or whatever the case may be. And if you didn't know it already, that a black team established hockey in the United States, just so you know. So that did not work. So in 2013, the next thing that hit the books was the Raise the Wage Act. And the Raise the Wage Act didn't do shit for general employees. The Raise the Wage Act only made federal employees make $17 an hour. And because they made $17 an hour, you know, there's no federal employee making less than $17 an hour, basically. But the federal is 17 minimum wage. But every state can do anything they want, but they cannot go lower than $7.25. They got a right to stay at $7.25 if they want to as a minimum wage. But with that amount of money as a minimum wage, how can you honestly be the richest man in your society and you want to pay your employees $7.25 an hour? There's only one industry, I think, that would greatly benefit from $7.25 an hour. But you got to make more. You just got to make more. And you wonder why people always taking people's shit in these jobs. It's because you, as the owner and the billionaires at the top of the damn line, refuse to pay our people money. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you don't realize it. If you ain't got no damn money, you ain't got nothing going for you. You ain't never seen a broke man riding around in a fucking Mercedes or a damn, or not a broke man, but a homeless poor man that ain't got no job and ain't got no source of income riding around in a Mercedes. You got to have something going for you in America. And I'm strictly talking to our people. I don't give a damn if anybody else look at this here show, but our people are the ones that I'm concerned about. I am definitely concerned that we are in trouble as an American people. I'm waiting on Claude. He's trying to get in, and I see him see where he signed in. But it said somebody need to connect the microphone, connect the mic and the cam before you can add them to the stream. All right, so working on that. Working on it, brother. Or what do you say? Working on it, boss. Come on with it, Claude. Either way, this is again the Black News Network, and I'm going to go to a short commercial break and come right back. It's only a few seconds, and then we'll be right back. All right, that was a good moment of silence that we just had. So let's go back to talking about what we were discussing, which is the minimum wage of our people. That's what it is. It is the minimum wage of our people. And this 725 ain't designed for nobody else but us. I don't understand it, and I don't understand how we can allow an entire class of people that makes this country run only make $7.25 an hour. You cannot survive on it. And I'm just sorry to keep talking about it. You cannot survive on it. Yeah, Claude, I see you popping in, but it says device not connected. I don't know what's happening with it, but it's not working properly. Something ain't working. I don't understand how you could pop in here. It says it keeps saying you need to set your camera up and your mic. Cause I see your blueprint that's here, but it always says you got to set your camera and your mic up. That's what it's saying right now in order for you to join the stream. This is one of the worst. This is worse than war. I mean, to deprive an entire population of people of wages suitable for survival, because that's where the problem is. We're not making the money as private citizens that we need to survive. And because we're not making that money to survive, we have issues. So we go out and we rob people. We rob banks, we rob people, we rob wherever we can. We rob employees, we rob warehouses full of $1 billion of equipment and merchandise. So is it a system that creates all this stuff that we are fighting against, as when we increase the police force or something of that nature? What is it? I mean, we're doing all this work to change America and make America great again. Why is it that we won't pay our people a better wage. It is so sad that this is where we are in America. So the Raise the Wage Act in 2013, who was president in 2013? Take a wild guess. Voila, you know it. It only did the federal minimum wage. It didn't do very much for the average Joe. So if you were growing up in the South and chopping cotton, making $5 a day, $6 a day, I was so bad at working in the damn field. I went to the cucumber field with $1 because my mom gave me $1 for lunch where I could get a stage plank, I can get a slice of bologna and a pack of crackers and a big red soda for less than $1. All of these items for less than $1. But then when I come out to the field, I leave that day after 8 freaking hours of picking cucumbers. I make about $1.90, $2. The most I ever made was $2 in the cucumber field a day. 8 hours in the cucumber field. So of course, after that one day I got fired. I could not do that job. Then I worked at a gas station, and this man only paid me probably $20 a week. I'd get off school. I see you, Claude, but it's still telling me the same thing, man. I don't know what it is. I didn't change anything that I know of. This is not. I don't know what's causing it to not allow you to. It's giving me the same info every time. I definitely ain't got no blocks on. I don't know what it is, my brother. We had to work on that offline. That is something that we have to deal with as far as our money is concerned. How do you make ends meet at $7.25 an hour, though? Do you take the $7.25 an hour at your regular job from 6 o'clock in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon, and then your second job you're going to do from, like, let's say 6 o'clock till 11 o'clock, and you're going to make another $7.25 an hour. So technically you still don't have enough money to pay rent at the end of the month. Say your rent $700-800. You got 2 kids, you don't have $350 to buy groceries for the month. You don't have $400 for a car note. You don't have $75 to $150 a month for car insurance. You don't have another $150 to $200 a month for health insurance for you and your family. So right now, your expenses way exceed your income. So what do they expect you to do about this? So I'm basically just trying to look at, how do you pay this kind of stuff at $7.25 an hour? Let's say $400 car note. You got car insurance, $125. There we go. All right, we got you in here, Mr. Claude. Let's see. Let's get you up. All right. Can you say something? I can't hear you right now. Yeah, I hear it. Sound like you got 2 things running. Let me see it. You got 2 open on your computer. One of them I'm trying to close. There we go. All right, now let's see. You got to get your voice in there. Make sure I ain't got nothing blocking it.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. We are there, brother. We are there. Welcome. I want to say welcome to my co-host, Mr. Claude Foster. Thank you so much for coming on with us. It is always a pleasure to see you, my brother. How you been?
I've been doing fine, my brother. I've been doing fine. How about you?
I've been making away every day. Look, you can see I've been painting and doing all kind of stuff around the house and stuff, just fixing up things and having fun while I'm doing it too. Just taking my time and loving it.
Yes,
you retired too, right? You done?
Yeah, I'm freelancing it.
Okay, you're doing your own thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't going nowhere in it in this
No,
public work.
I've given up on corporate America, nonprofit America. You know,
We're done with that shit. Yep,
I
I agree.
I got streams of income coming in, multiple streams. So
Yep.
I'm freelancing.
Huh?
I'm
And I
freelance.
think that's a good idea too. We may need to talk about multiple streams of income one of these days. So we can just turn some people on to different ways they can make money.
But you know,
Because
it's funny you bring up the minimum wage, right?
uh
Because it's not just the minimum wage, my brother. It's what the minimum wage doesn't allow you access to. You know, a minimum wage doesn't necessarily allow you to any of the retirement programs like 401(k) and 403(b)s
they
and
don't allow you. Say they don't allow you to sign up for those.
right, because those kind of plans are not those kind, like 401(k)s and defined benefit plans and all those kind of things. You gotta meet a certain threshold. Now the government did pass a bill in 2019, and it was expanded on 2021. If you work for 500 or more hours over a 3-year period, your employer has to pay it to Social Security.
Okay.
But if you don't meet that criteria, you just out there. So not only are you got poor wages, you got poverty retirement. And that's why you see 80, 70, 80 and older people out there trying to still work.
Still working. 80 years old, still working.
Go to Walmart anytime. Walmart is one of the main
old people. It's a lot of
old people can barely stand up, brother.
Still working there.
They probably worked their whole life. And like I say, that law was just passed in 2019.
That's sad, man. I went all the way back to 1938 when the Fair Labor Standard Act was passed. Right. And that really didn't do anything because it made it worse for some people because they were getting $11 a week. I mean, after they passed this thing, they only were getting $5 or $6 a week. And
let me throw this at you, brother. It's, my area is a little bit on the political side. Do you know the 4 poorest counties in Texas? Starr County, Hidalgo County, Cameron County, and Willacy County went for Trump.
They all went for Trump.
The poorest county. Now, they went for Clinton when she ran.
What are those? Give me those counties again.
Starr County, which is 98% Latino. Hidalgo County, which is 91% Latino. Cameron County, which is 88% Latino. Willacy County, which is 87% Latino. And let me tell you what I'm going to say here. Now, those counties went for Clinton when she ran in 2016, right? Okay, so you had 2016, then you had Trump, then you had Obama. Then you had Joe Biden. All of them have had an opportunity to address the poverty down in the valley. Them are poor Mexicans down in the valley. Them are those minimum wage workers that don't have no benefits down in the valley. Them the folks that Trump appealed to. Because they saw in a billionaire that would do something to deal with it. Because see, it ain't the fact that Trump won. It's the fact of all the people down there that are not voting. It's like what Chuck said. What's in it for them? They've listened to all the rhetoric of the Democrats, and ain't nothing changed. They're poverty, so they're not voting.
Right.
And the Democrats, for some reason, you ain't gonna win Texas. The Democrats in Texas ain't gonna win Texas till they figure that out. But they sit down there. Them are all Democrats that control those counties.
The 4 poorest counties in the state.
Listen to the Starr County, right? They went 60%. They went for Clinton. Biden only got 5% went for Biden. in Hidalgo County. 41% went for Clinton. Only 17% broke for Biden.
So you're saying these people here are all below the poverty level?
These are the poorest counties. Let me give you the ranking. Texas got 254 counties. This is the poverty ranking, okay? Stark County is 251 out of 254.
Damn.
Hidalgo County is 247 out of 254. Cameron County is 245 out of 254. Willacy County is 253 out of 254. So how could Trump and his trucks and his message resonate in that kind of area of the state?
Every time you hear somebody talk about Trump, they're always talking about what Trump put money in the economy, and they got that stuck in their head like they're damn fools or something.
But what is it?
Thinking they finna get paid.
But what is it that the Democrat? Your show, we're talking about poverty. So what is
poverty
it?
And 725, yeah.
So what, in Chuck's words, what is it that the Democrats are not doing to make people in the valley like that break for the Republican candidate?
I don't think the Democrats are making.
You see the least number of vote, the least percentage of vote Biden got over, right?
In those areas, yeah.
In those areas. So what was done between Clinton and
well, let's talk about it. I can tell you what I think what they're not doing.
And Kamala Harris. What was done between in all those years?
Let me start a conversation about that. I'm thinking that the one thing that Democrats have always done is not pay attention to the constituents. Democrats pay attention to Democrats and their agenda, and they feel like everybody is already hooked to them, and they're going to come with them. Whatever journey they take, they think that the constituents are going to follow without consulting the constituents.
But who's the Pied Piper that's leading them that way?
I don't think it's an individual. I think it's a group.
The Democratic
I think it's the caucuses that you talked about. The Black Caucus is one group, and there's probably other group. I don't know. I ain't that deep into the Democrat structure.
The Hispanic Caucus.
You got a Black Caucus. You got a Hispanic Caucus. What else you got?
Well, I mean, those are the two primary ones because these are the people that we're
talking. Why wouldn't it be the Hispanic Caucus is deceiving the Hispanic community, just like the Black Caucus are deceiving the Black community?
Well, let me ask you a question. What about all the Democrats that represent those people in those 4 counties?
I mean, what about them?
What about them?
What are you asking? What's your question?
I guess the question is, what continues to bind? Even I talked about this with Chuck. What continues to bind the poorest minority group members to the Democratic Party? What is that binder?
I think it goes back it's hereditary. People hereditarily vote Democrat, Black people, because they think that's what we want to do. No matter what, they just vote an entire damn ticket Democrat, and they don't know what the hell these people are. They just vote Democrat because that's what Black people have always done.
So how was the?
It's not right. We make votes without wise decisions. We don't think about what we need to be really thinking about when we vote. We just vote. Oh, I'm voting Democrat. I don't give a damn what their agenda is. I'm going to check all the Democrat boxes. I've heard that so many damn times. But every Black community want to vote Democrat.
That's the ones that's voting. How about the ones that are not voting?
There's many that don't vote. A lot of people just say, fuck it. They don't think politics is what's going to take to change the trajectory of our culture. But I'm here to tell you that's the only thing going to change it.
And what made them Hispanic in the 4 poorest counties in Texas turn?
The promise of more money. I'm telling you, I know exactly what did it. Trump opens up the oil fields. And because opening up the oil fields gives labor workers opportunities, because nothing else in this country has been put on hold but the oil fields. I mean, when Trump was in the office last time, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody, everybody worked in the oil fields. Even people I knew worked in the oil fields. As soon as Trump come out of office, the oil train, gravy train stopped. It stopped. People lost their jobs. Wages went down. The oil fields shut down completely in some areas.
Right.
So when this starts to happen, they contributed to who's ever in office. So this time around, they contributed the lack of employment, the lack of funds coming into the community, the laying off of the oil fields. They contributed that to the Democrats and said, F the Democrats.
Okay,
So Trump coming back into office, people are excited about the oil fields opening back up.
let me ask you a question. Obama was hope and change, right?
I guess.
That was his thing. Trump was America first. That's his thing.
Make America great again.
Tell me what Kamala Harris's thing was.
Hell if I know.
No, tell me.
I don't know.
If anybody listening, if we have listeners listening, if you could call in and tell me what Kamala Harris's theme was.
What was her theme and her message?
Right.
We're going forward and not going backwards. That's the only message I remember she came up with. That's it. Kamala said we are going forward.
Okay. We know what hope and change meant. There was a lot of hope and little change.
Do you think she had enough time to do what she said?
Look, man, with $1.5 billion, you can buy time.
She had a lot of time to say what she needed to say, right?
With $1.5 billion, you can buy your extra time.
I don't understand why she lost, but somehow people trying to blame it on all kind of bullshit. But let's go back to something on the minimum wage. I wanted to bring up and see what you thought about it. Implication of racism, gender, and economics and injustice is prevalent in the minimum wage setting. At $7.25, who can survive at $7.25, 40-hour work week? Who can do that?
Everybody that's making $7.25.
But they living, but they're not surviving. They're breathing, but they're not surviving.
Well,
what is $7.25 a week at 40 hours?
Well, one of the arguments that politicians make, they're not just getting $7.25. They are eligible for free child care. They get big tax IRS returns on their tax return. They get certain benefits from a tax benefit.
But they live in 365 days. They're not living for that one check.
They get Medicaid. So it ain't just the fact that
you can be $1 over $2,400, $2,397 a month, and you disqualify for Medicare.
But brother, when you asked me, you said, "Well, what?" I'm just telling you at $7.25.
All these benefits. You said Medicare.
Medicaid.
Say that again.
Medicaid. Child care.
What kind? Child care. What do they do for child care? They give you money for each child, or if you got 5 kids, what are they gonna do? Pay all of their child care?
I don't know whether they pay it all, but there are certain benefits. It's not altogether free, but you get child care benefits when you file your income tax.
So a rich man can't get welfare.
No, a rich man can't get Medicaid. A rich man can't get free child care.
Okay, WIC. You're talking about like shit like WIC, right?
WIC, yeah.
Okay, so let's examine that. You telling me at $7.25, the government's going to give you Medicare, child care, welfare, WIC,
Medicaid.
Okay, Medicaid, child care, welfare, and WIC.
Right.
But how much does it cost to give you all that at $7.20? You're making $7.25 an hour. So the employer is responsible for paying you $7.25 an hour, and 30% of that goes back to the government before you even get paid. And then in return, the government subsidizes you in your life with these particular items.
And there are others. There are others.
Yeah, there's other benefits, right? But these items don't improve your standard of living. It maintains your standard of living at the poverty level. Why would you want to stay at that level? And the government wants you to stay at that level by subsidizing you with all these damn bullshit benefits. You get the worst health care available to man. You get the worst child care available to man because you're not going to be able to put your child in a reputable child care because they're not going to give you enough subsidies to do it. You get the worst in welfare because now you're waiting on a government handout. And if you $1 over $2,400, you're not going to get welfare check every month. So what do people do? They have more and more babies. And they have these babies because each baby gets so many dollars from the federal government that as long as you don't make over this threshold.
And
so
and that adds to the social morass that we find ourselves as a country. Remember, this country was founded. What is this country founded? This country is founded on an ideal that all men are created equal. Now, right. We may never, what did Dr. King say? I may not get there with you, but one day we're going to get there. Because there's always going to be that ideal there. Politicians.
Can you believe we've made it this far and we're not there?
No, but what I'm saying is, it's just an acronym. It's a bait and switch, right? America is created on this ideal democracy. Ain't no such thing as an ideal democracy. Ain't no such thing as an ideal nothing. But in America, it's pitched to us like the founding documents say all men are created equal and are endowed by the, and we are never there. But it's an ideal. It's what makes America different than anywhere else. It's like a big lie, but people believe it because you say we're striving to get there. We're thriving to get there while I'm paying you $7.25 an hour. We're thriving to get there while we don't, like in Texas, don't participate in expanding Medicaid so them people down in the valley can get health care. So it's an ideal. And think about it. Those words are kind of magical because presidents of the United States, politicians, that's what they preach. They preach that ideal. People live in reality. They don't live in idealism. And that's what the Democrats are finding out. That you can't preach idealism and expect a large group of people to stay with you.
Right.
Because with technology, with more information, people are figuring it out.
Right.
Now they're either not voting, like in the case of the Valley, a lot of people stayed home. What should concern the Democrats is how much of their base does not vote.
It's a big base. And a bigger base. I didn't do the stats on who voted last presidential election versus this presidential election.
Right.
But I'm sure it's less on this one. Why do you think they didn't vote? Democrats didn't vote.
I'm telling you, because it's like Obama's hoping change after 9 years, right? Okay. Hoping change in 2008 means something totally different than hoping change in 2016.
Yeah.
Because you had 8 years, right?
Yeah.
You had 8 years of hope. Where's the change? So his message is what killed Hillary Clinton. That message, 8 years of hope and change, made sure that.
What is hope? What is hope?
It's that idealism I talked to you about. It's that America, all men are created equal, are endowed with certain inalienable rights.
I don't think you can really put a physical thing with hope.
Yes,
what are you putting with hope? What is hope?
Especially with people that have been hoping all their lives, especially Black folks.
I mean, hope. There's no such thing. I mean, what is hope? That's what I really want to know. What is hope? You have any idea what it is? I mean, because hope to me is not a physical thing, and whoever come at me talking about hope got a problem, and I don't want to address that problem.
Well,
how you got it?
you got to remember that the our party, the Democratic Party, the party of my upbringing,
Uh-huh.
my parents.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember the Democratic Party of today ain't that party of the '60s.
Mm-hmm.
The,
Well,
the,
it ain't
the
in Black
Democratic
Paul's
Party
dictionary.
is pretty much the run. You know, we talk about how wealthy Trump is. The
Mm-hmm.
Democratic Party is run by a bunch of liberal, wealthy folks.
Yeah, I mean, every office in Washington D.C. is full of those people. That's who's there. I mean, that's who we got to deal with. Everybody in Washington making all that money, millionaires running our country, and look who Donald Trump is placing in charge of things. We're up for a bumpy ride here, man. We're getting ready to get on the roller coaster.
Well, I think the Democrats, they're either gonna take a lot of lessons from this defeat,
Mm-hmm.
but so far they haven't learned. Think about it, they haven't learned since 2016.
I don't think the two-party system has ever worked for certain people, and it's not working for me.
But
I just can't believe I ain't got but two choices. I just stood a long time at voting booths trying to get them to understand I'm not going to tell you if I'm Democrat or Republican, because it doesn't matter to me. Hope is just like believe. Hope is a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen, which is nothing. It's almost, I hope I'm going to make $1 million before the year is out in 2024. That's all it is. I mean, I hope I'm going to do it. I can't think of his name, but it's the black dude that wrote, what's his name? He just died too. I can't think of his name. Anyway, that is something different. All these different things that the government do, I really can't believe that they're subsidizing the minimum wage with this stuff. Why couldn't you just give the people the money and let them decide what they want to do about Medicaid and child care and welfare and
because who runs them? You had politicians, corporations run America.
But this is a corporation.
Well,
I mean, this ain't nothing but a corporation with 48 motherfucking DBAs.
So you just answered your own question.
Huh?
You just answered your own question. That answered your question.
Well, I'm trying to stay on what most Americans believe. They don't look at it as a corporation making the decisions. They look at it as this is America. So in order to get an audience to understand what we're talking about, they have to see us looking at the corporation, and they got to see us looking at the USA.
Look here, we got hundreds of military bases around the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what president gets elected outside of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't none of them. We still got hundreds of military bases around the world.
Got people everywhere.
Trump said you either gonna pay up or we're gonna shut this shit down. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He told Germany, pay up.
He gonna bring him back home. But
He's
see,
bring him back home.
Why are we everywhere? It's only the idealistic ideal of a capitalist
because we
are every country.
What does it mean? What do you think it means when America says we are the most powerful democracy in the world?
It means that we'll bust somebody's ass if they step out of line against us. That's what it means. It means that we got the most powerful weapons. We spend the most on the military than any other country on the planet. So that makes us the big bad bully.
So why bases all over the world?
Because we want to have access to every single country. We want that access. If we don't have access to Turkey, what are we going to do if something breaks out over there that we got an interest in? We have these bases because there are resources that come to America that make sense to capitalists, and that's why we do it. We go everywhere. We go to Korea. We go to Japan.
You've You've heard of BRICS.
Every single where that we think we got an ally. We even got people still right now in Hungary. We go to Hungary. Hungary now. What the hell we doing in Hungary? We in Hungary because Hungary sits right next to what? Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's why.
Who do you think? Who do you think killing all these people all over the world with these military drones? When they drop a bomb from a drone, you think they just killing old people or people?
No, they're killing anybody that's in the damn way. They don't give a damn if it's children, women, kids. They're not looking for. They're killing soldiers too, but they're killing everybody else around. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, they don't give a damn about all that. That is casualties of war, insignificant kills. It doesn't mean shit.
America. You know, if you travel over the world, in certain parts of the world, you see poverty up front and in your face, right?
They're not making $7.25 an hour. No,
they're making less.
But what about us?
But what I'm saying, you don't really see poverty in America. You see homeless in places. But
you don't see poverty in America. You don't see poverty in America? You ain't seen them Negroes out there chopping cotton in 2023, 2024?
Not 2020.
I see that kind of shit when I go home. I see it. It's a daily thing. They make $16 damn an hour.
I went to Mississippi.
$60 a day.
I went to the casino right outside of Memphis. I saw nothing. Now, maybe it wasn't season
yet.
You
didn't go far enough. On 61, right? On Highway 61?
All I saw was casinos.
All you had to do is go a little bit farther and go in towards Clarksdale and look to your left and let them damn fields. You're going to see people out there with a hoe chopping damn cotton.
And they be making $15,
This is 2024 now.
They may be making $15, $20 an hour.
I got a brother-in-law that's 70-some years old, still work. He can't work now, but he was working 2 or 3 weeks ago for $9 a freaking hour, 8 hours a day. How can you work for 8 freaking hours a day at 70 years old? You're not supposed to be doing that now. You're 70 years old still. This is America. And the white man that he worked for will not pay him more. And if he didn't go to work for that $8 an hour, the white man will tell him to get off his land. And I've seen cases where people had to move overnight because they refused to let a white man walk up in their house like he owns it, which he does. It's bad. It ain't punky dory. I'm telling you, man, it is so sad to see a black man working 75 hours a week and making $350 a week. And it's paid to him under the table. So when he gets old, ain't no damn Social Security for him. Ain't no damn Medicare, Medicaid for him. He fucked. I'm sorry to say that bad word. Apologize for that. So man, because they know exactly what they're doing.
So you saying the poor don't have a 403B?
The poor don't have a foot in the door at all.
The poor
there are millions of people right now getting used and abused in these damn sugarcane fields, in these cotton fields, these soybean fields, on these damn farms. Why do you think they won't let a Dollar General be put up in some of these little cities?
Right.
I said little titties.
You better watch. I heard that Freudian slip.
These little cities. That was funny, man. But why do you think they won't allow them to do it? They're not going to let them bring a Dollar General in because the Dollar General are going to take them people off the plantation and take them away from the family-owned store where they put it where they tell everybody, go get your groceries here. You can do it right here. They want everybody shopping at the store. So at the end of the week, when it's time for payday, we're going to deduct this amount because this is what you spend in the store. They don't, and these people can't go nowhere because they ain't making enough money to fix their car. They ain't making enough money to buy school clothes. They ain't making enough money to put real food on the damn table. That's why you still got people eating all these damn chitlins and ham hocks and pig feet and hog knees and every damn thing else that come out of that damn animal.
But you know what?
A pig lip sandwich. Out
of all the generations, you know who fucked things up for the rest of us? baby boomers kind of changed.
They didn't change the minimum wage though.
They changed America.
They can't. This country cannot change for two reasons. One, they cannot change as long as we're paying people $7.25 an hour, and for two, it cannot change as long as we don't honor and respect and acknowledge the black people that built this country.
So what are you saying? So should they still get? Should we increase the minimum wage and cut off all the benefits?
Well, this is the situation I wanted to talk about increasing the minimum wage. Let's take a company, pick a company. Let's say, I don't know a company that don't. Let's say John Deere tractor, okay? John Deere tractor probably employ 1,000 employees. I'm gonna just use a round number. I don't know for sure. They got people working in there sweeping the floor, making $7.25 an hour. So the federal government comes out and say, hey, now the minimum wage is $21 an hour. Everybody that work for you got to make $21 an hour or more. So now the John Deere says, man, we can't afford, we ain't paying no damn body $21 an hour. So what do? We reduce staff. Now, not only John Deere, but 100,000 other businesses reducing staff because they don't want to pay $21 an hour. And now you're in a position where you're creating a depression of employees because you don't want to pay the money they need. Look at what happened in Seattle not even 2 months ago. All the engineers and the machinists walked off the plant. Why did they walk off? Because they felt they hadn't gotten a raise in so many years. And these guys making $50, $75 an hour. They making a shitload of money, but they fussing because that ain't enough money for them to live, to let them tell it. But here you are, the little $7.25 guy. You screwed, man. You cannot depend on Medicare, Medicaid, child care, welfare, and WIC. You cannot depend on that. If you're dependent on that, you ain't gonna never change your situation. The thing is, everybody should be upward mobilitized. If you can't move up in some type of fashion or form as you grow older, then something is wrong with the money you're being given. You're not given enough money to make your family advance. You don't want to sustain at the same level if your level is $3,000 a month. You don't want to stay at that level. You want to move to a higher level. And the only way you're going to do that is get out from under this bullshit that they've given you to make you stay poor. And
you tell me this fact does not correlate with the demographics of the states. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states that do not have a state minimum wage, meaning they can pay $2 an hour. Listen to these states and tell me that there's no direct correlation.
Don't say Mississippi.
No, okay. Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Tennessee do not have a state minimum wage.
Those are Confederately ran states. The Confederate generals took those states after the Civil War, and it's been Confederate ever since. It ain't changed. These people are already who we know they are, racist people who fought against slavery, and now they lost, but they were given the states back, and they've designed their government in a way to keep people on the cotton field or working from a poverty level. We need a class of people that can always be servants. Why not? We need people always in the service industry.
Certain types of labor is exempt from the federal minimum wage. Tipped employed.
What kind?
Employed. There are certain types of labor
that exempt from the federal minimum wage of $17.
Yeah, tipped employees under 20 who are paid $4.25 per hour for the first 90 days of employment. Employees covered by the Fair Labor Standards Act. Employees of religious, educational, charitable, or nonprofit organizations. Professional salespersons or public officials. Domestics. Inmates.
They work them for free.
and family members. You can hire your son to do a job. You don't have to pay your son to go out there and rake them leaves, the federal minimum wage. You can pay them $2 an hour.
Even bartender waitresses and servers, they can make $4
Let
an
me ask you
hour.
a question. So Trump says he's going to stop taxing tips. You believe it? You think that's a good idea?
I think it's a great idea because
you,
it really don't make a difference because tip collectors are never going to tell you how much tips they collect anyway.
Well, employers have to report the tip.
Yeah, but they're not going to tell you how many tips they got. They're not going to tell you.
Okay,
I mean, if you think that the bartenders and the waiters and the dancers are going to tell you how much they make on tips, you got another thing coming because they're not going to tell you. And that's sad, but it's true. They're not going to tell you. If they make $150 a night in tips, you probably get 35.
Let me ask you a question. Would a person making $15 an hour on a 40-hour work week be eligible for any federal benefits like Medicaid, child care?
I mean, let's do the math. How much is $50 an hour for 40 hours?
$10 an hour for 40 hours is $400 a week.
So that's $800. That's $1,600 a month. No, he'll be eligible for every damn thing that government got at $1,600.
So as a taxpayer, you'd be willing to subsidize that.
Actually, I think I wouldn't. I mean, it's that way now. If I was as a taxpayer, and that's all, this guy getting subsidized all this money based on him making a 40-hour week. He's working. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's trying. And that's what the key ticket is for me. If you out there busting your bonds and you can't make more than that $10, $15 an hour, then yes, get these benefits because your family deserve it, huh?
So where's the incentive for personal growth?
There's no incentives because this country needs servers. They need people in these industries. There's no way the country can exist without the laborer or the field Negroes.
Well,
There's no way it's going to make it without people
AI
at the bottom of the level, huh?
AI gonna get rid of it.
Yeah, AI ain't gonna get rid of the ones already broke. AI gonna get rid of the ones that's got money, that's making money. The AI ain't gonna be out there chopping cotton. Ain't no damn artificial robot gonna be going up and down that field chopping cotton.
Yeah, they got
nobody can do that kind of work but a human.
They invented a machine that separate the cotton from that little weevil, that little
thing in the ball.
Yeah. They invented a machine to do that. So don't think
Whitney did that, man. He invented that. But there's so many steps to everything people do. Like, let's say you wanted to, you see the automated janitor things that sweep the floor in Walmart and other stores, big stores, but they're not gonna be able to go around and empty trash cans and know when to put a new bag in the trash can or know when to leave this. If you put them out there to empty trash can, they can think, but I don't think they're thinking at a level now where they know to leave the empty trash can and go to the next one.
So your argument is, and I tend to agree with the argument. Your argument is that in America, regardless of, there should be a living wage. You believe in a living wage. Yeah. So what's a living wage for a capitalist country like America?
Knowing that this is a capitalistic capital country, I think that you have to make, in order for you to survive every single month with a family. Let's say I got to give a base. The base is 2 kids, husband and wife. You got to do rent, you got to buy a house, you got to have transportation, you got to have insurance on your health, you got to have insurance on your car, you got to have groceries. You know, I'm just saying all these things you have to survive. So if you got all these things, your minimum cost for all these things a month is going to be at least $2,000.
So are you a socialist?
No.
Why not just give them a house, give them a car, give them? Why not just give them everything?
Why not? I mean, why not?
So
Why not make it? Why not? If you do the paperwork, give you a house. But if you don't act right, you lose it, and you don't get a second chance.
what's acting right?
Huh?
What's
You're breaking the law. There are laws that should not be broken.
So what happens to your family?
Well, the same thing gonna happen to you. Get the fuck out. You got to go. Because if you broke we gave you a house and we expected you to live in the house. All you had to do was abide by these rules. The same way with welfare. They give you rules to abide by.
So when Trump immigrations when he was asked the question, well, are you going to separate families? He said, no, we're going to import families too.
Man, that was the worst atrocity. that was messed up.
That's kind of what
they said they're going to send back if you got a citizenship and we sending your family home, you can go with them. Get on the damn plane. But see, that ain't all to it. It's bigger than that. You got to get the country of the origin for that individual. And that individual country has to say, we will accept this individual back into our country. And then if you want to send the rest of the family, that country has to accept them too. If that country refuses to accept this criminal that they keep lying about, then that individual ain't going nowhere. He gonna sit in America, and I'm willing to put money on it right now.
What America?
People ain't going nowhere. All the people that he's talking about, they ain't going nowhere. The one that murdered that nurse up there, I mean, the ones who did some atrocitizing stuff that everybody know about, those are the ones that'll get extradited. Otherwise, the people that he's talking about doing a plane load of people back to a certain country, I think it's going to be hard to do. People got this shit twisted, Claude. What really is going on, that is not the real deal. Just because he keeps saying I'm gonna send people home, that's not what's happening. What the real deal is, he's giving the police the authority to stop and ID Americans, to find people that are illegally here. That's the problem. Not the sending them back over the water, when people not gonna take them back over the water just because Donald Trump said they're illegal. They're not. It's not that simple. It's a process, and that can take a year.
No, we'll hook their ass up to a drone. No, we'll hook their ass up to a drone, and we'll just fly them back to that.
Drop them back over there, right?
Drop them back.
It ain't gonna work. It's not. And everybody think they can build a damn wall, and as soon as you build a wall, they come through there and cut a door in it with a doorknob and shit, and there's a walking damn door. Or dig under it, because it ain't nothing but sand, and it's so easy to go underneath that damn wall. So it's too many ways for people to come to this country.
America killed foreign leaders like Fidel Castro. So you tell me that if we can go and kill a leader of another country, that we don't have the power to send back whoever the hell we need to send back?
We ain't got a lot of powers that we got.
We got that kind of power.
We didn't have the power to do with Saddam Hussein either. We lied to get to him. We lied to get to all these damn people, but we got to them. We were finding scapegoats. Huh?
We have power to kill Saddam Hussein.
You ain't got the power to stop a damn 747 from flying into the Twin Towers. So you telling me we the most powerful people on the planet, but we can't do something? We can't stop a damn 747? 2 of them, 3 of them,
and we train the pilots right here in this country.
Yeah, we can't do that, but we can damn go and blow up a Japan with 2 atomic bombs, and then come back and help rebuild. They ain't rebuild shit. They just gave them a ton of damn resources.
I don't want to get too far from the top, but this is how money influences the money. You don't think that that flight school down in Florida, you would think that if all these pilots wanted to do was learn how to fly and not learn how to land, that they would contact you.
You said they didn't want to learn how to land.
They just want to learn how to fly. They weren't interested in learning how to fly.
I don't want to learn how to land. Just teach me how to fly.
Yeah, but that's the power of money. money makes you not ask questions. Money makes you not think.
They were paying them good.
Money takes away any kind of moral compass.
So you think that we're being deprived of money so we won't think outside the box?
No, I think, but see here again, the minimum wage don't have anything to do with government. The minimum wage has to do with the corporation.
No, minimum wage got everything to do with racism and economics and gender and color. All of these things are big factors in the minimum wage.
Right.
I think the minimum wage is designed to keep Black people where they are right now. We have more Black people on minimum wage than anything else. Even the waitresses and bartenders, they have to make more money. Everybody that's under let's say $6,000 to $7,000 a month need to make more money. They cannot survive if they don't make at least $6,000 a month. They can live, but they can't survive. There's a difference, a big difference. When you can't do nothing but pay your damn bills and you broke before the damn money cool off in your account, something wrong. Because they're not paying people what they should be paid. And that is my point for wanting to discuss this thing. What about the Blue Eagle Award? Do you know what that is? The Blue Eagle Award is an award that Theodore Roosevelt created for any company that would meet that minimum standard. Or is it Franklin Roosevelt or Theodore Roosevelt? Franklin Theodore Roosevelt, whatever. He made this here thing where he promised to give this award if you would pay your employees $12 to $15 an hour. That is the promise. And over 2 million businesses agreed to pay their employees $12 to $15 an hour. That you would not employ anybody under 16 and that you would only work 40 hours a week. But when people agreed to that, the Supreme Court kicked it out again. So the Blue Eagle Award went away right quick, as fast as it got there. As soon as the Supreme Court kicked it out, they went back to paying people $5, $6 a week, shit like that, stupid shit. And it's greed, man. They don't pay people in these companies because of greed. The people at the top makes 10 times, 20 times more than the lowest paid employee in their organization. But some organizations put stipulations in there saying that the CEO can only make 10 times what the lowest employee makes. Mm-hmm. But that's bullshit. They give them bonuses that subsidize all that. And the bonuses that most major corporations do are in the millions. I mean, there's so much damn money at the top. Why you give a millionaire a bonus of $25 million? I mean, he's already a freaking millionaire, but you give him 25 more million. But you got the poor man down here only makes $7.25 an hour or $9 an hour, and all you want to give him is a $200 bonus at the end of the year. You just got this whole damn situation effed up, man. It is bad that we can't get money without having to take it. So with that, I know that the only way we're going to move forward in America is to fight for it. We're going to have to take it. Otherwise, ain't nobody listening to Leviticus 25:10. The Bible even tell you to give us our shit back, and ain't nobody gave us shit yet. I ain't asking for nobody to give us anything, but we're the only ones that ain't got our freaking money. We got so much invested in the United States of America that they are going out of their way to hide us from the world. They're doing everything. Don't talk about slavery. Don't do this. Critical race theory. Remove Rosa Parks books from the damn schoolroom. Everything about what they did to us is being erased right now, and we're sitting back allowing it because whoever writes the story get to tell the story. And that's exactly what's happening. They write it and they tell it the way they want it to sound. And we sit back and go through with it. We allow it to happen. So I'm at a point with America that $7.25 is a ridiculous amount, and somebody need their ass whooped for $7.25 an hour. And the only way they got that on July 24th, 2009, is because of Barack. He did it. Why it took 15 years for anybody to even look at the minimum wage? It was in the $6 or something before then.
So
Barack Obama did it. He's the one who made it. He's the one who did that. I'm sorry. That's my daughter. But that's what I'm saying. When it's like that, it does not make much sense for America to not want to pay us our money. And it's not me. I don't need the damn minimum wage. But what's happening to 500 million or a million of our constituents that can't get over the hump with their families because America cheats them out of their money? Ain't no way they should have a descendant of a slave making $7.25. That's ridiculous. You should pay that person should have a standard wage of $35 a damn hour for anybody. Plus the company got to pay $7.25 an hour for that individual, making them make $42.25 an hour. If you can prove that you're a descendant of a slave, you working anywhere in America, the federal government gonna pay you $35 an hour plus whatever that company is paying you. Because that's the only way you're gonna make it. We got to come up with a list of things that the reparations can do for us, and that's one of them. If you work, you don't get this money unless you work, and then that company pays you whatever minimum wage or whatever they pay you. That's fine, because the government gonna pay you a base $35, no matter what, an hour. That's reparations. The government's gonna say, well, we're not gonna touch your check every week and take a third of your damn profit or your income for the fucking government. We're not gonna do that. So you're gonna keep your money. You're gonna get a subsidy from the government. You can live like that. You can't live with just $7.25 with one stream of income too. It just don't work. It does not work. So when you create this monster by not paying this person, don't get mad when he come and take your shit. You created this environment. You created this environment when you dropped the cocaine. You created this environment when you dropped the gunship. You created this environment when you deprived men from their families. You created it. So ain't nothing else left.
President Obama didn't raise the minimum wage. Congress has the authority to raise the minimum wage.
It happened under him, though.
No, it didn't. He didn't.
24. Who was the president in 2009?
But he didn't raise the minimum wage. He could have. No, he could have. Congress. He could have.
Who was the president, though, when they did it?
No, because the President Obama didn't have the authority to.
It was under his presidency.
No, the Democrats control.
But who was it then? Who was the president when they went to 725? I'm telling you, it was Obama.
But it was the Congress that raised.
Yeah, who was the president though?
Well,
under the Congress, who was the president over the Congress? Barack Obama. 2009. July 24th, 2009 is when that act got passed into law for $7.25 an hour. That's fact, brother. July 24th, 2009.
Well, President Obama could have asked Congress to give the president back the power to raise the minimum wage. He didn't do it. He could have done
it. Who did it? All I'm asking is who was the president?
Well, I'm looking at it right here.
I'm saying, was it Obama?
Let's see.
It's Obama, man. Look it up. I'm telling you, I know for a fact that it's Barack Obama.
Oh,
that's a fact.
He probably signed the legislation after it was approved.
All I asked was who was the president when it got passed.
Well, the Democrats could have raised it to $10 an hour. They had both houses. Why didn't they raise it to $10?
Yeah, they could have, but who was the president?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but President Obama could have gave the president power to raise.
He could have took it higher. That's what you're saying.
Right, and he didn't.
Well, at least it's higher than what it was. It was $6 and something before him, 6.40 that 5, I think. He only raised it to the dollar, less than a dollar. Why would they only let it go up less than a dollar?
Well, you can forget about the next 4 years because the Republican Senate, it ain't gonna happen.
No, it ain't gonna happen. I just think it's a sad story that this rich ass country can only pay people $7.25 an hour.
But they worry about inflation. And if everybody got paid a high salary, things would cost more, and how would people be better? So if a poor person making $10 an hour, inflation goes up to where that same item was $1.
He got to pay for it too. The $7.25 an hour got to pay for inflation too.
Well,
yeah, they need gas. They got to pay the same price on gas that I pay. They got to pay the same price on the eggs that I pay.
But think about how.
They only do it. They only make it $7.25.
But think how much inflation would be if they raised the minimum wage and everybody was getting paid a high salary.
Well, it'll no matter what. It's a damn if you do and damn if you don't system.
Because what you're proposing is socialism. You're saying everybody should be paid the same.
I'm saying everybody should be paid a living wage. What's
a living wage?
I'd say to supplement a living wage to me is how much does it cost a person to survive minimally in this country? You can survive with nothing minimally, but to be able to pay a house note, car insurance, there's a certain amount of money, a standard amount of money that everybody should be able to make.
But is it the same? Is it the same in Mississippi as it is in New York?
Hell no. You saying based on inflation? Based it on.
A person in New York will make more than a person.
The cost of living in New York is way more than it is in Mississippi.
So you would pay a minimum wage more in New York than you would in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So what would stop somebody in Mississippi moving to New York?
If he wants to make money, he'd move there or more money, but he's gonna pay more to live there. So you're good where you at based on your cost of living adjustment.
But you're saying that they're gonna pay more or pay a higher.
A higher wage if you're living in New York than you would get for the same job in Mississippi.
So what was stopping from moving to New York?
Nothing. That's my point. You have the right in this country to go anywhere you want. You don't like the wage you're making in Mississippi, move to New York. You still gonna make money. It's the percentage. Let's say you're making $500 in Mississippi at McDonald's a week. You move to New York, you're making $800 a week in New York. But in New York, your necessities gonna cost you a significant 10 to 20% more, which you're making 10 to 20% more in New York than you were making in Mississippi, because things there, rent, light bill, it ain't as precious as it is in a city that big. You know, it's a stratification that you have to figure out as a government to pay people. You can't just arbitrarily say, all right, this is what we're going to pay everybody in Mississippi, $35 an hour as a reparation fund, and we're going to pay everybody in New York $42 an hour as a reparation fund. You can't just arbitrarily say that. You have to have the numbers to go with it, and that is the issue. The numbers are not available, and nobody's conducting any studies to figure this out. And until we figure it out, we're going to make $7.25 an hour. And I look at all the millionaires in our community. There's got to be at least 1 million millionaires that are Black. Why didn't we form a coalition eventually of millionaires to start to change what has happened to Black people in America? Nobody with all this damn money took the initiative to do a damn thing. And that's why we're where we are, because once a person makes their million, they almost disappear, because they're just counting their money and looking for more. They ain't trying to help a damn soul here in America. Our people have in my mind, given up on our people. We don't have a people anymore. I mean, you find a black community, I don't know where. You don't see the unity in our black community that you see in these other communities. But yet, you don't see our people supporting our people the way these other communities support our people, support their people. We buy from them, they don't buy from us. We buy Chinese, they don't buy black. We buy Mexican, they don't buy black. We buy Korean, they don't buy black. You
What is
never
what,
see a black in our store. I mean, a Korean in a black store. You never see a Mexican in a black store. You don't see these people supporting us the way we support them. That's our biggest issue. We think everybody's on the planet to survive, but they think if you're not like me, I don't want to fool with you. We want to fool with every damn body. We gotta say F all these damn people and stick to our own, and then we can get somewhere. Otherwise, we're gonna be stuck, just like we are. So with that, Claude, bring us to a close. I know you got something.
well, no,
Yeah, brother, what you talking about?
no, I think it's an interesting topic. I I don't think we'll ever reach the level of socialism that we talked about on this program. I just don't think that's
Nice.
America is America is a dream, right? It's you can be whatever you want to be in America, right? Knowing that that's not true, but it's one of the virtues of living in America because you can work hard, lift yourself up. You could be that millionaire that you talk about. You could be that owner of Walmart that you talk about. You could be the next millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, right? That's the American dream.
American dream.
That's why so many people want to come here because the world has bought into that American uniqueness. Be all you can. There's nothing to stop you. America got more millionaires and billionaires than any other country in the world. You can come here and there ain't nothing that stops you from being a millionaire or a billionaire. So there's nothing that keeps a person making minimum wage at a minimum wage. Because some of the most creative people are the people that have had to struggle, that are doing the most difficult tasks, the most difficult work, because they figure out better ways to do the job. So I don't think what I would like to see America do. I would like to see people that make a minimum wage eligible for some of the retirement benefits that regular workers are entitled to, like Social Security, like some of the retirement plans that they're not eligible for. I think that should be a total separate category of retirement plans for minimum wage workers. And we don't have that. We don't have the will for that. No political party talks about that. You didn't hear nothing about poor people come up in this campaign.
Nothing. Nothing.
So this conversation is good if it can advance that discussion. And so I look forward to future discussions talking about the people that your friend Chuck always challenges us to talk about, and that's the people at the bottom of the wheel. The people down in the valley didn't vote because they was voting for Democrats. They didn't vote at all. So Biden got less than Hillary got because they had hope with Hillary. She had all these promises that she didn't, but she didn't win. Biden got less because the people in the valley didn't turn out to vote.
Right.
And believe it or not, you got major swath of black folks that are not voting. Or they're doing what black men are doing and they're voting for the alternative. They're voting for a billionaire because that's the American dream. Everybody wants to be a billionaire. There's nothing special about Trump's brain or any billionaire's brain. They are not superhuman. They're just like you and I.
Right.
And so anything to advance that discussion via YouTube. Because some people go to YouTube and they look at the video. So anything that advances that discussion also advances our democracy because it makes it more accessible to a broader section of people, and it especially lets people know that there are people talking about the issues that they care about, even though they're not voting. So, very good topic, my brother.
All right, there you have it, folks. That is Mr. Claude Foster, the co-host of the Black News Network. He said, "Be all you can be." And the first thing popped in my mind was Don King. And if you're unscrupulous, you can be in business in America, because I don't think a multi-million-dollar business has been born in this country without some under the table stuff going on, because it's just too hard to get an honest business off the ground. And that's something I can attest to, because I've tried it in 5 or 6 different businesses, and always boils down to how much money you got. If you ain't got the money, you cannot get things to the level you are trying to, with, unless you get a white man to help you. I'm sorry to say it, but be all you can be. And think about what Don King did to get to be a millionaire. He robbed a lot of people, but he did the damn thing. He did it, but he took advantage of a lot of folks. And that's what will happen in most cases when you got a business as big as his, or that had a business as big as his. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA. Today we talked about the minimum wage, and don't forget that we talked about the Fair Labor Standard Act of 1938, wage floor, 44-hour work week, and children not working in the workforce. We also talked about the Raise the Wage Act of 2013, where federal employees received minimum $17 pay. Implications of racism, gender, and economics, and unjust is surrounded by the wage process. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and again on Sundays at 3:30. Please subscribe to us on YouTube at BNN247. Like us on Facebook at BNN247 or WAR Smith. I would be delighted to hear from you if you want to change or add or correct something we may have said here on this show. We do not own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. So thank you, Mr. Claude, and thank you, viewers, for coming in to the Black News Network. We will see you next time. Have a nice day.
Good night, brother.
Good night.